Georgia will receive at this end. Shake hands, guys. Let's have a great playoff game.
All right, there you go. That's Scott Campbell, the referee out of the Big 12 Conference. Georgia will get the opening kick. Michigan won the toss. They deferred. Let's go down to DJ Shockley on the field, a Cook's Pest Control report. Shock, what's the atmosphere on the sideline?
I'll tell you, the atmosphere inside the locker room was really good. One of the things that Kirby Smart mentioned was he said, hey, I feel a little doubted. I feel like we're getting a little disrespected. So there's a little chip on the shoulder of these dogs as they come out this locker room. And he said one thing they want to do is play a physical for 60 minutes. But they said they doubt it. They feel good. I think they're excited, but there's definitely a chip on the shoulder.
All right, Shock, thanks very much. It's a long-standing chip. These two teams haven't played in since 1965. So maybe that chip's been there for both teams a long, long time. Our kickoff is coming up. It's brought to you by Georgia Power, powered by Georgia Power. Whether you're on the way to the stadium or heading home from a win, charge up with Georgia Power. Plug in at one of our convenient EV charging stations today. All right, the field is clear temporarily as Michigan huddles up its kickoff unit. And now they'll take the field, and Georgia will have the kick return unit head to the field momentarily. And we'll watch it from our cozy little booth here, the Piedmont Healthcare cozy little radio booth in the northwest corner of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Our first half tonight presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. So Michigan will be delivering the kick with their Lou Groza Award winner, Jake Moody, the senior from Northville, Michigan. We'll kick it in a traditional setting, it would be left to right. But in this setting, he's kicking it towards us, kind of. Back deep for Georgia is Kenny McIntosh on the goal line on the far hash. And that's the direction the ball will go. It'll hang high, come down returnable. McIntosh from the 7 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20, right into the pile. And down right there at the 20-yard line. Maybe an inch or two shy of that, but Kenny with an opportunity to return one. Those don't happen much anymore, see, in college football. He took advantage of it, returned it out to the 20-yard line.
No, they don't. We've seen the Dogs do that all year long because we've got such talent on the special teams. Saw it there from Michigan, purposely kicked that short to try to give yourself a little bit better starting field position if you're on the defensive side of the ball. But out of the gates here, the Dogs get to see what this Michigan defense is all about. Top 25 nationally in 7 major categories.
Cedric Van Pran, the center, up over the football. Stetson Bennett, the quarterback. Zamir White in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Dogs. Handoff, first carry, Zamir straight up the gut, and he booms close to a first down. I think he got it, actually. Or maybe they're going to bring it back a yard shy. He got 9 straight up the hash. Brad Hawkins, the free safety, a graduate from Camden, New Jersey, on the stop for the Michigan defense. But a good way to start this ball game on a 9-yard gain on first down.
Well, Michigan brought linebacker pressure there, dropped down, went single safety, tried to get a safety involved as well, but just a zone run there by the Dogs. We locked into those linebackers and drove them backwards.
2nd 1 for Georgia. Just underway here in Miami in the Orange Bowl. Play fake and a throw out to A.D. Mitchell. Caught at the 36 by Mitchell. He veers inside the numbers and then back out. And they'll bring him down around the Georgia 45-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards, and that's a Scana Energy first down. The first of the game for the Bulldogs. It was DJ Turner on the stop, the cornerback for Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan showed cover 2 pre-snap, rolled again to 3 deep. Stetson saw it, just ran a hitch with A.D. on the outside, and Michigan's cornerback gave a ton of room for A.D. to catch that.
3 tight ends in the formation for Georgia. Pass play for Bennett. He's going to go left to the sideline, reaching and catching. Brock Bowers up high, deep in Michigan territory on the near sideline. There's the SEC Player of the Year doing his thing way downfield.
He's been matchup problems all year long, but I'll tell you, give the Georgia offensive line credit right there. That play took a long time to develop. Stetson able to stand in the pocket, took a pretty big hit at the end of it, but plenty of time to survey the field and step into that throw.
35 yards on the gain down to the Michigan 20. Dogs in the in the red zone down on the far end of the field. Bennett going to take the snap, throw it to Brock Bowers to the right time this time as they set up a screen on the far hash. And Bowers makes the catch down the line and then proceeds to push that ball inside the 15. Far end of the field. Looks like they're tackled down around the 14 or so. And it was Ross and Colson, two linebackers, making the stop as Georgia is working in the Massey-Ferguson red zone here on their first possession.
Boy, but about 4 or 5 yards after contact there on that little bubble screen, Brock Bowers, we wanted to get him involved in the football game early. We're doing it.
2nd and 3 from the Michigan 13 for Georgia. Dogs on the doorstep early on. White to Bennett's left. Zamir will get the handoff. Bounces left, runs into a horde of blue-shirted defenders, and they'll stack up Zamir White after a short gain. Brad Hawkins, the free safety, hit him first for Michigan. He got 2. It's going to be 3rd down and a yard to go.
Wolverines brought their free safety all the way down in the box, almost into a linebacker position there, expecting run and just trying to clog up any interior holes.
3rd and 1 on the 11. First series of the ball game. Georgia way down at the other end of the field. Stetson Bennett looks over his left shoulder, turns around, looks to the sideline. Play clock down to 4. It's at 3. Bennett ready for the snap. Here it comes. He snaps it, and did we call time or take the penalty? We stopped the clock. The officials blow it dead. I think Georgia called time.
Timeout. Georgia. First and a half.
Georgia called time. They don't get penalized. Dogs. Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. We need another booth down on the other end of the field just to see what the heck is going on. 3rd down and 1 to go for Georgia. We're on the Michigan 11 scoreless ball game. First possession of the contest. 11:29 on the clock here in the first quarter. Bennett under center. Zamir in the backfield. Stretch handoff. White straight ahead running. Powers into the pile and inside the 10 to the 9. And from this angle, looks like he got the first down.
Well, Scott, the Dogs flipped the formation there. We had trips bunched to our right, moved everybody before the snap to the left. It created all kinds of confusion on the Michigan defensive front. They never got set.
It's going to be a first down, a Scana Energy first down on the run by Zamir. 2-yard gain. It's goal to go for the Dogs on the doorstep, 9-yard line of Michigan, trying to get on the board first here in the Orange Bowl. Quickly break the huddle. James Cook's in the backfield. Cook, play fake from Bennett, throws it out to Bowers. Wide open left side, catches it, and into the end zone left corner. Touchdown as the Dogs are on the board first.
Boy, how do you leave Brock Bowers that wide open? A busted coverage from Michigan. Brock Bowers just ran a simple flat route. Nobody was close to him. Good job of recognition from Stetson Bennett. Delivered a ball that easily allowed Brock Bowers to turn and run, and nobody was there. He goes in untouched.
9-yard touchdown throw from Bennett to Bowers. That's the 12th reception on touchdowns for Brock Bowers, and that is a new school record for the Bulldogs and the freshman tight end from California. Point after try, Jack Podlesny is coming up. 6-0 Dogs. Jack Pod's kick low, but got over the crossbar. Very low. Wow. But he did make it. 7-0 Dogs, 10:49 to go in the first quarter as the Dogs take it the distance. They went 80 yards in 7 plays in 4 minutes and 11 seconds. And the scoring strike was a 9-yard touchdown pass from Stetson Bennett to Brock Bowers. That is your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Bennett, by the way, Z, 4 for 4, 67 yards, throwing the football on the opening possession.
Yeah, looked very sharp. Give credit to the offensive line as well. Stetson Bennett, a couple of quick throws there, getting the football out of his hands, which is exactly what we wanted to see because of this vaunted pass rush of Michigan. But when we did press it downfield on the wheel route to Brock Bowers, ample time for Stetson to survey the field. He took a pretty big shot right at the end of that throw, but nice work there by the offensive front for Georgia.
Our first half tonight presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Jake Camarda has the ball teed up on the 35. He'll measure it off as he walks it off back to the 27. He'll approach and kick. A.J. Henning, a dangerous return man for Michigan, down on the far end, the left end of the field. But Camarda's kick will sail high and deep and into the end zone, and Michigan will take the touchback. 7-0 Georgia, first quarter. Bulldogs football brought to you in part by your Atlanta area BMW centers, providing legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience. At BMW, they only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics.
This Michigan offense, they want to be balanced, but it starts with running the football. Running backs Hassan Haskins, Blake Corum, together averaging over 180 yards per game.
That's a good 1-2 punch, and their offensive line, supposedly the best in college football. Before the snap, flags fly and the whistles blow. The umpire threw the flag.
False start, number 68, offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's on the center. Andrew Vastardis, a graduate from Ashburn, Virginia, and these guys are, boy, they're good across the front. Stuber, the right tackle, might be the best of the bunch. It's a veteran group, and they move people. They create space.
Yeah, just an unforced error there from an offensive line that has been outstanding. They lead the country in fewest tackles for loss. They're third in the country in sacks allowed.
Back on the 20, 1st and 15. McNamara to throw. Escapes the pocket. He'll run it straight up the hash. Still on his feet. Dives forward now. Up across the 35 and maybe across the 40. They're going to mark him back around the 38 where he began his dive forward. A big run by the quarterback, McNamara. A huge gaping hole at right guard for McNamara.
Yeah, good recognition there by McNamara. We did not bring pressure. The Dogs didn't bring pressure there, but we ran with all the receivers, so our backs were turned. McNamara saw it and then took off for a nice gain.
18-yard run, I'll say. 1st and 10 at their own 38 for Michigan. Snap it in the shotgun. They run a little flea flicker after the handoff to Haskins. Pitch it back to the quarterback, and then he throws it to Haskins for a short gain as he makes the catch around the 42 or so on the near hash. And then he's tackled there pretty quickly around the 43-yard line by the Bulldog defense. He got 5 yards on the short pass play, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 from the Michigan 43 for the Wolverines.
Dogs went single safety there, never bit on the flea flicker. It happened so quick, you saw it coming.
There's a handoff to Haskins, breaks free around the left edge. No, that's Donovan Edwards, a freshman from West Bloomfield, Michigan, who bounced out to the left and just right up the middle as they continue to run. Nothing fancy about that, just finding daylight. And he pushes that ball on the logo to the Georgia 47-yard line, and that's a gain of 10. It's a 1st down for Michigan. Now they'll throw it where they go a little tempo. Out to the left, it goes to Edwards again on the pass play. He's tumbled down in Georgia territory at the 44-yard line.
Just a little swing pass there. Michigan trying to get McNamara involved in this football game. That was intended to go out on the swing pass the entire way. Good job of the Dogs coming up, though, and limiting yards after the catch.
Nakobe Dean with the stop for Georgia. 2nd down, 7. Ball's on the Bulldog 44 for Michigan. They trail 7-0 here in the first quarter. Shotgun snap to McNamara. Hands off to Haskins. Hit on the left edge as he tries to turn the corner outside the numbers. And that was quite a pop out on the perimeter by Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith, the 2 Georgia linebackers. And Jalen Carter also came in to get a piece of that stop.
Boy, great scrape right there by Nakobe Dean, able to get through a little bit of traffic and deliver a blow. Really critical that with these running backs, you get them on the ground after contact. These are big physical runners that get a lot of yards after that initial hit. Dogs have got to take the fight to the Wolverines today.
Haskins 4th in the Big Ten in rushing this season, picked up 3 there. 3rd down for McNamara. They throw. The ball was tipped, I think, coming over the line of scrimmage. He misses his target. The tight end on a crossing route, Luke Schoonmaker, a senior from Connecticut, from left to right across on the crossing route. It looked like that ball from here, Z, it took a funny direction as it crossed the line of scrimmage. I almost thought it was tipped, but maybe it wasn't.
I think it just went through the receiver's hands, and then he deflected it. Michigan, though, 4th down, keeping their offense on the field.
4th and 4. Ball's on the Dogs' 41-yard line. Georgia has a 7-0 lead here, first quarter of the Orange Bowl in the college football playoff. They go with an empty backfield. Snap it back. McNamara in the pocket. Looks to the left, throws it in that direction, and it's off the hand of the intended receiver, Eric All, the tight end, incomplete into the boundaries where the ball ended up. And that's it. The Dogs will take over on downs. Lewis Seen was in coverage.
Dogs sat back in coverage there, only brought 4 against the empty set. That was 2 empty sets in a row for Michigan. Dogs don't bring pressure against it, sit back in coverage. And a nice start here for the Dogs on the first offensive and defensive series.
George. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured, you know who to call. There's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. The Dogs take over. Michigan went forward on 4th and 4 from the Georgia 41. An incomplete pass hands the ball over to the Bulldogs. James Cook in the backfield with Stetson Bennett. We bring McConkey in motion around the quarterback, throw it to him in the left flat with blocking. McConkey 45, McConkey 50 near sideline. They wrestle him out of bounds near the midfield stripe on Georgia's side of the field. And that'll be around a 9-yard gain. Let's see where they spot it officially. Brad Hawkins, the free safety, is the guy that was wrestling number 84 into the boundary.
Dogs caught Michigan in exactly the right look. Michigan again starts with 2 safeties, bring 1 safety down and brought pressure off the slot. We just throw a little screen pass to the outside right where the blitz was coming. You can't dial it up any better.
They got 9, 2nd down, and a yard to go. Ball is on the 50. Bennett goes under center now. Cook deep in the backfield, 7 yards back. Stetson, stretch handoff. James Cook veers right. Big hole. Cook straight down the middle. 1 man to beat. He's going to tackle him around the legs, around the 30 or so.
Well, we talked about it pregame. Inside traps and then counter trays. Because those outside rushes of Michigan get upfield so quick, there are huge gaping holes. We did it right there. Massive hole for Cook to run through.
Down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 21. Warren McClendon with a key block on that right side. Georgia goes quickly. Pump fake Bennett. Throws it off left flat to Cook. Cook at the 30, 25, and a man goes low and cuts him down at the knees around the 21, and that's their leading tackler, Josh Ross, a middle linebacker from Southfield, Michigan. But Georgia on the doorstep again here, leading 7-0, 6:29 to go first quarter. The Bulldogs are moving furiously.
Boy, great decision right there by Stetson Bennett. Was trying to take a shot downfield, didn't like it, felt the pressure coming right in his face, able to get that to his check down.
2nd down and 3 for the Dogs. From the Michigan 22, far into the field, split backfield now with McIntosh and White. And McIntosh breaks out into the right side. And Stetson will throw it to him, a screen to the right. Kenny Mack makes the catch. Bowers trying to set it up with blocking around the 20. And Michigan will come in and break up the play with a nice tackle at the 20-yard line. R.J. Moten, one of the safeties, made the tackle on the wide side of the field. We needed 3, I think, on that last play. We only got, we get 2. It's 3rd and a yard to go at the 20. Dogs in the Massey-Ferguson red zone for the 2nd straight possession.
Well, Michigan right now bringing pressure relentlessly from a variety of different looks. Dogs countering, a lot of screen passes, a lot of things out on the edges.
Bennett going to take it under center, pitch it out to Zamir, running wide to the right with blocking on that side. And Michigan played it well all the way to the boundary. And he got the first down, however. He got a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Tough to see from this angle, trying to look at the spot of the football. But Zamir picked up the Scana Energy first down and moved the sticks for the Dogs as we get a little bit deeper into the Massey-Ferguson red zone.
Boy, just a student body right there for the Dogs. Stetson, a traditional little pitch run on like that. You're going to turn and reverse that. He goes down the line of scrimmage like an option and got it out of his hand quickly.
McIntosh, the lone setback with Stetson Bennett in the shotgun. Snap it back, hand it off to Kenny Mack with blocking. He'll throw it into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Kenny Mack! threw it to A.D. Mitchell. He was wide open in the Michigan end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Boy, Kenny Mack threw that ball before A.D. Mitchell ever got out of his break. He looks like he's been playing quarterback for years at the highest level. And a little gift back to Michigan. We've seen Michigan do that on tape throughout the year. A little trickeration, and the Dogs pay off.
Mitchell was so wide open, it was just a matter of, all right, get my hands around the football. Don't drop it, don't drop it. He did not. 18-yard touchdown throw. Kenny McIntosh, it's 13-0. The point after is coming. Jack Podlesny lifts this one up high between the uprights, and it's good. And Georgia with a 14-0 lead. 4:41 to go. First quarter, our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Over $1.5 billion recovered. Now there's a number. And remember, there's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Dogs zone by about 3 or 4 yards. And that'll be the automatic touchback. And the ball to the 25 for the Wolverines.
And Scott, this is an unfamiliar spot for Michigan. They have been great in the first half, really good in the first quarters as well, outscoring opponents this year, 89-22 in first quarters of football games this year, 227-76 in first halves of games. So really important for the Dogs to get out to this kind of start.
A touchdown throw by McIntosh, by the way, the first by a non-quarterback for Georgia all season long, as you might guess. And this will be a handoff. Michigan goes with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback now in this series. And he'll run it with Haskins straight up. And Haskins will pick up 4 to the 29, where Nakobe Dean, the linebacker, makes the stop for the Bulldog defense. The Butkus Award winner making another stop there.
Boy, nice run there by Haskins, able to get his hand on the ground. He had contact right at the line of scrimmage, but able to put a hand down, keep his balance, and fall forward for a nice first down pickup.
J.J. McCarthy in at quarterback, the 6'3 freshman from LaGrange Park, Illinois. He subs in periodically for McNamara. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off, runs into the pile. Haskins tries to bounce out to his right, but he takes white shirts with him. Those silver britches wouldn't let go. Trayvon Walker and Nolan Smith hanging on for the tackle as he tried to bounce out. Haskins going to lose a yard on the play, I think. No, he got 1 yard, excuse me. 3rd down and 5 is the down and distance. Ball's on the Michigan 30. It's 14-0 Georgia here as we get a little deep into the first quarter. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and the clock is moving.
Well, nothing fancy there from the Dogs on that one. Just 2 deep safeties, but just a brick wall up front.
Now McNamara back in at quarterback. In the shotgun, takes the snap, looking to throw. Here comes pressure, throws it out wide to the left. It's caught. And out of bounds at the 35 is Dalen Baldwin, a senior at 6'2 from Southfield, Michigan. Pushed into the boundary by Darion Kendrick, for Georgia on the far side of the field. And the ball's up, going to be spotted on the 36-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards on that 3rd down throw.
Well, just a quick hitch on the outside by Baldwin. Kendrick in pretty good position. Dogs got some pressure on McNamara there, but such a quick route, he was able to get the football out of his hands.
Snap to McNamara in the shotgun, a play fake with time. Now I think he'll go down in a pile behind a massive humanity. Let's see if we can see who came out of the stack. It was Robert Beal that got the sack, and Jalen Carter. All of a sudden, the quarterback went down. I couldn't see anything. All of his linemen were still in front of him. From this angle, you can't see anything.
Boy, that's because we just pushed the offensive line back into the lap of McNamara. He had nowhere to go. A tremendous push right up the middle, and nice coverage in the secondary by Georgia's defense.
Sack number 42 in the year for the Dogs. 2nd down, 16. Ball's back on the 30 for Michigan. They lost 6 on that play. McNamara back to throw. Pass batted down back in the pocket. Quay Walker, the linebacker from Cornell, zipped in from the edge. Batted that pass down, incomplete.
Dogs showed cover too early, brought a safety down. Quay Walker came off the edge. He knew he couldn't get there, but able to get those big hands up in the air and swat that football away.
Cade McNamara wanted to go to Haskins to his left. He appeared to be open in the left flat, but Quay Walker had another idea. 3rd down, 16 to go on the 30. Michigan on their own 30. 3rd and extra long. They'll empty out the set, run a man in motion to the left and throw it to him in the left flat. And Corum makes the catch, but wow, what speed from Nakobe Dean, who hustled to make the stop out on that left edge. Blake Corum, the sophomore, with speed at 5'8", goes down shortly after he makes the grab. Ball's on the 28-yard line. He lost 2, and it's 4th down and 18 for Michigan.
Corum came all the way across the formation there in motion to run that swing pass. Nakobe Dean ran right there with him and was just shot out of a cannon as soon as that ball came out of McNamara's hands. Nothing Corum could do.
Here's Brad Robbins, the Michigan punter, on to kick it away. Kieris Jackson, the deep receiver for Georgia. He's on our 23. Snap. Kick high, hanging, wobbly spiral. Kieris up at the 25 to call for the fair catch. He'll make the grab there, and Georgia will have the possession with 1:10 to go in the first quarter. It's Georgia 14, Michigan nothing right now. 47-yard punt by Michigan that time. Our first quarter recap is brought to you by Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit, loans for land and farms. Well, it's all Georgia, as you might guess, with a 2-touchdown lead here in the first quarter. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. How about Stetson Bennett? 7 for 7 in the first quarter for 85 yards and a touchdown. Kenny McIntosh has a touchdown pass as well, and he too is perfect. 1 for 1. So the Dogs passing attack 8 for 8, Z, in the first quarter. On the ground, we haven't really run the football a whole lot other than short yardage plays. Zamir White 4 for 15. Cook has a carry for 21 yards. Bowers already with 3 catches for 51 yards for the Bulldogs.
And a lot of what we've been doing in the passing game right now just substitutes for a running game. A lot of quick passes, a lot of screens, getting the football out of Stetson Bennett's hands, safe throws. Georgia by bringing linebackers or bringing safeties. Let's see if they make an adjustment here after the first couple of series and get back into a little more traditional, just straight cover 2 and see if that great defensive front for Michigan can hold up against this Georgia offensive line.
James Cook is the deep back in the backfield. Stetson Bennett under center. Cedric Van Pran ready to snap it. Bennett takes the snap. Handoff Cook running left behind Salyer. And between Salyer and Darnell Washington, he angles to the left and will gain almost 5 yards on the play. They'll mark it at about 4.5. Washington kind of hobbling to the sideline just a little bit, but comes out of the ball game for Georgia. The gain is almost a full 5. It'll be, they'll call it 2nd down and 6, however, for the Dogs. Clock under a minute, under 45 seconds to go in the quarter, as a matter of fact.
Dogs right there straight at Aiden Hutchinson, and a nice block by Darnell Washington pushing him backwards.
This time Hutchinson on the right side, and he jumps early. Dogs with a free play. Bennett will hang it up for Jermaine Burton. He makes the catch deep downfield on the sidelines. No, he's out of bounds. Caught the football, but couldn't get the feet in bounds on the Georgia sideline. But Michigan jumped early.
Boy, great recognition there by Stetson. Knew he had a free play and just threw that football up in the air way early, but had to get it out of his hands, knowing that it was a free play. Take your shot.
Hutchinson on the other side, you just referred, he was blocked well by Darnell Washington on the previous play. He went to work on Warren McClendon's side of the line of scrimmage and jumped early on that last snap, so a 5-yard pickup for the Dogs. And it'll be 2nd down and 1. Ball's on the 34. Our own 34. We're moving to our left or away from us from this vantage point. Play fake. Bennett completes another pass down the line to Bowers to the left. He draws a crowd as he caught it at the 30 of the 31. Aiden Hutchinson, number 97, the first one over there, the 6'6 senior from Plymouth, Michigan, to wrap up Bowers. We lost yardage on the play that time. Lost a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now. Ball on the 32.
Well, that was all recognition there from your runner-up Heisman candidate, Aiden Hutchinson. Saw the bubble screen developing on the outside, peeled back from his defensive end position and got to the boundary in a flash.
Yeah, he was more like a nickel back that time than a defensive end pass rusher. That's the last play of the quarter, by the way. Cook's Pest Control sideline report with DJ Shockley. Shock.
Hey, fellas, I love what we've done on 1st down. Well, I think we've kept them off balance. We got stuff going to the outside, got toss sweeps, you got going inside. And the other little nugget, The touchdown by Kenny McIntosh, they said he was 0 for 8 in practice on that, but he hit it when it count here in the game.
Oh, that's good stuff, Shock. Thank you. Wow. Well, they still had a lot of faith in him to get it done, and that was good to see. 3rd down and 3 for the Dogs. We're on our own 32-yard line. Now they're coming at us. Play fake from Bennett. He'll pull it down and throw it, and it's caught. George Pickens on a quick slant from the left side. GP makes his first catch of the game, tackled by DJ Turner. And the ball up to the 41-yard line. That's a Scana Energy first down. The Dogs go quickly from the 41. Bennett over the middle. Big Darnell Washington goes up high, had his hands on it, but they hit him. And the tackler is still down. The ball came out of his hands incomplete. He went up high, reaching up high, as we've seen so many balls go in Washington's direction. But Brad Hawkins, the free safety who tried to tackle that massive humanity, is still on the field.
Well,
shaken up on the play.
Yeah, we hope he's okay. And that pass, while incomplete, really the only place Stetson could put the football. You had the Michigan safety coming over hard. Stetson just tried to back shoulder him on that inside seam route.
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, Dogs 2nd down and 10 from their own 41, leading 14-0. Quick snap to Bennett, throw it out to the left side. Kearis Jackson had a block from Marcus Rosemy-Jack-Saint on this near sideline. Makes the catch and shakes his way up the field close to the 50. Hit by Josh Ross, the linebacker, and DJ Turner, the cornerback. And he got 8 yards to the 49 as well. They'll spot it. Snap back to Bennett. We're going to run it. Kenny McIntosh looking for room, just running down the line to his left, looking for open space. There wasn't much there. They're going to tackle him on the logo on the left side. He did get some yards, though. He got positive yards. Got a first down at the Michigan 48-yard line.
Boy, you never thought he was going to get north and south. Finally ran into a blue jersey and stuck his foot in the ground and went enough to get the first down, but missed a couple of holes in there before deciding to get north and south.
It looked like he was walking down the aisle of a bus. Look, is there a seat? Is there a seat? Is there a seat? Nope. Finally found a seat. 1st and 10, 47-yard line of Michigan. Bennett in the pocket, being chased. Hutchinson coming after him. Bennett's going to run it. Breaks a tackle. 40, 35, cuts. Oh, what's the footwork inside the 30 down to the 26. Turner had to tackle him into the secondary, and that's why Stetson Bennett's in the ballgame.
No doubt about it. Michigan has been hurt throughout the year with quarterbacks running the football. Great decision there by Stetson. Had quick pressure, able to get out, then a little shake and bake.
21 yards on the run. Bennett to throw it to the left side. He's got some blockers over there. Zamir White out of the backfield makes the catch, runs towards the Michigan sideline, and they'll pile him up around the 26. Jalen Harrell, one of the linebackers from Tampa, Florida, makes the stop at the 26-yard line. It's only a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Dogs.
Dogs using every inch of this field, east and west, and then they mix in a couple of shots north and south. But they're making this defensive front for Michigan run all over the field.
Boy, really keeping the Wolverines off balance here defensively. Cook's in the backfield with Bennett. 2nd and 9 from the Michigan 26. Shotgun snap to Stetson with time. Throws for the end zone. Overthrows his man, the tight end, John Fitzpatrick. Had cut off his route on the sideline around the 12 or 13 Z, and the ball lands about 5 or 6 yards over his head. Did Stetson expect him to go a little bit deeper there, or what?
Yeah, he did. Just by the looks of it, I think the Dogs thought we were going to get some pressure there and had some man-to-man beaters on. Michigan ended up playing cover 2. Really didn't have a good route on or a good option to throw the football, so Stetson just throwing that one up to where if anybody can catch it, maybe it's your guy, but let's live to fight another down.
3rd and 9. The Dogs 4 for 4 on 3rd down so far in this game. Cook in the backfield, Bennett in the shotgun. Quick throw, Bennett caught and then dropped and then caught again, I think, by Fitzpatrick, but was he in bounds? No, incomplete. He juggled it. It bounced off his hands. He caught it again, but couldn't stay in bounds on the boundary far side of the field. It's incomplete. 4th and 9 now. The Dogs will go reaching for a field goal here with Jackpot Lesney.
Still would have been short of the first down, and the Dogs, when you get into 3rd medium, 3rd and long situations against this pass rush, you can see how quick you've got to get the football out it just reinforces the importance of staying ahead of the chains and getting into second and short, third and short situations.
44-yard try, far hash, kicking right. The kick is away. Pod's kick is good. 44-yarder. Jack Podlesny converts to make it 17-0. Georgia, second quarter action with 12:26 to go. This will be Jake Camarda to kick it away from the far left end of the field. In this direction to the right end. And A.J. Henning standing on the goal line, set to return it for Michigan if the opportunity arises. But Camarda's been booming them through and beyond the end zone. And here's another one. Long, high, booming, powerful kick. Going to land at the base of the bleachers behind the goalpost. And that'll be a touchback. Michigan will have the ball once again, now trailing by 3 full possessions. Or 3 possessions, not full, because there's a field goal mixed in there, but it's 17 points. Michigan will start 1st and 10 on their 25.
42 yards of total offense for the Wolverines. Then first quarter, Dogs really doing a nice job up front, doing a good job of mixing in some coverages. We brought some blitzes, sat back in zone, so really mixing up the defensive looks we're giving Michigan.
McNamara takes the snap out of the shotgun, going to run it with Corum. Oh, eat him up big, Jordan Davis swallowed him whole behind the line of scrimmage, chasing him down. He got that 340-pound body in full motion and chased down the 5'8" shifty running back.
Boy, unfair for a man that size to be able to run like that. Just the quickness is uncanny, able to scrape down the line of scrimmage, get on Quorum's back, and know where that he can go.
Lost yardage play, lost a yard, back to the 24, 2nd 11 for Michigan now. Dogs defensive line shifts. McNamara in the shotgun. Edwards is in the backfield. He moves a little bit early. They don't call anything. McNamara will throw. Quick pass over the middle to Mike Sainristil, a junior receiver from Everett, Massachusetts, tackled by Christopher Smith. And we'll see where they finally spot the football. Looks to be at the 34-yard line. Yep, 3rd and a yard to go. So he got 10 of it back. It was 2nd and 11. Need a yard. Michigan in tight. Going to run it with Haskins. He hops over blockers at right tackle. He'll get the first down. Just running through a little bit of a crease. They don't need a whole lot of daylight for those guys. He was able to pick up the first down on a short run to the right. And it'll be 1st and 10 Michigan at the 34. And that short little run netted 4 yards for the Wolverines.
The Haskins does a great job of getting his forward body lean, and just as he runs through holes, even with contact, just pushing forward, constantly moving his legs.
Michigan will change quarterbacks. They'll get McCarthy, the dual threat guy, in the ball game. He tries to dual threat aside on the right side, but Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith going to protect the edge on the far side. Nolan Smith sending the quarterback into the sideline on the far side of the field and out of bounds where they mark him. He's having a tough time finding where the ball is. The 39-yard line from this angle. At the 39, he got a yard. 2nd down and 1 to go.
Boy, great job by Nolan Smith. Assignment football, staying at home and then just keeping McCarthy in front of him.
2nd down and 9 to go. Correction, he got a yard. They snap it back to McNamara, who checks back in the ball game. Clobbered as he throws a deep ball down the far sideline. It's caught downfield in one-on-one coverage by Roman Wilson. McNamara really paid the price on the other end. He beat Kendrick down on the far sideline for a long gain. Biggest play of the night for Michigan so far, as they'll spot him down. Kendrick made the tackle down around the Georgia 20, down to the far end, maybe just a foot or two inside.
Well, just a simple takeoff there by Roman. Got behind Kendrick immediately, and Kendrick was playing catch-up the entire time. Dogs brought pressure, just couldn't get there.
42 yards on the long pass play down the sideline. So it's 1st and 10 at the 19 for Michigan. 17-0 Dogs. We're in the second quarter here in the Orange Bowl. Play fake. McNamara fakes the reverse. Now he's going to go down. Too many fakes. Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith, they've seen that play before. And McNamara will go down way behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Dogs, after an SEC championship game where we couldn't get into the offensive backfield, not the case right now. Everything we're dialing up, we're able to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield.
Lost 8, second down 18, ball back on the 27 now for Michigan. They're on the Georgia 27, far into the left, into the field. McNamara in the shotgun, looks to his left, looks right down the middle, steps up, avoids the rush, splits our defense with a scramble inside the 25. I don't know how he got away from Nakobe Dean, who was breathing down his neck in the pocket, but McNamara able to get out of some trouble, and we hit him at the 25 with Tramel Walthour and Channing Tindall. So it'll be third down and 16. He got 2 from this angle. He was way back in the pocket. See, he ran a long way, but he only got a 2-yard gain out of it.
And he thought he had some room. Channing Tindall, though, was spying on McNamara that play. As soon as he stepped up in the pocket, Channing Tindall immediately to the point of attack.
Michigan third down and 16 from the Georgia 25. Moving to our left, far end of the field. McNamara to throw. Caught on the right edge by the tight end, Eric All, the junior from Fairfield, Ohio. Hit immediately as he goes out of bounds. Lewis Seen, the safety, making the tackle. And they'll spot him out at around the 18-yard line, just a yard inside the original line of scrimmage of the 19. It's 4th and 9 for Michigan. They're going to try for a field goal here with Jake Moody, who's money in the bank from this distance. The Groza Award winner, Jake Moody, right-footed kicker, will kick from the far hash from our angle and kicking left as they raise the net behind the uprights to get on the board for the Wolverines. There's the snap and the hold, and the kick is away, and the kick is good. Michigan with a field goal to get on the board to make it 17-3. Timeout with 7:16 to go in the second quarter. First half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Over $1.5 billion recovered. Now there's a number. And remember, there's only one call. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back after this to the Orange Bowl on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Hard Rock Stadium. Let's check in with DJ Shockley on the Cooks Pest Control sideline. Shock.
Hey, fellas, that last drive when Georgia was on offense, Michigan started to bring a little bit more pressure, playing a little bit more man. And the word is over here, sitting here from talking to some of the receivers and talking to Tankin, they're going to start taking more shots. So look for more opportunities down the field to hit some big shots here in the second quarter. They continue to play more man.
Thanks, Shock. Yeah, they had a big 42-yard gain on that last field goal scoring drive. Here's the kick by Michigan. It's going to sail into the end zone, and the Dogs will make the fair catch there. And we'll have the touchback at the 25-yard line. Here's your scoring summary brought to you by Georgia Metals. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Michigan with a 36-yard Jake Moody field goal, a 9-play drive, covered 57 yards, and took 5:10 off the clock. 17-3 is our score. Dogs lead here in the Orange Bowl, second quarter. And now Georgia with the ball, 1st and 10 at its own 25-yard line. Far into the field, coming in this direction. Stetson Bennett back in the shotgun with Zamir White in the backfield. Snap to Stetson. He throws, caught. Brock Bowers turned around, faced the line of scrimmage, caught it at the 31. They hit him right there. They've got a man shadowing Bowers. They stay right with him, and that was Rod Moore, a freshman safety that made the tackle after the catch, but he got 6 yards to the 31.
Option route there by Brock. Michigan played cover 2 on that option route. If it's man-to-man, he gets up 5 or 6 yards and then breaks either to his left or his right against zone. You just sit it down. Good recognition by both Stetson and Brock on that.
Stetson Bennett talking to the left side of his line of scrimmage. There's a tight end out there as well, Washington. Second down, handoff, Zamir White. He runs in that direction. And the left edge is piled up pretty quickly by the Michigan defense. Josh Ross, the linebacker. And he got a yard to the 32. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Bulldogs, who lead it 17-3, 6:10 to go here in quarter number 2.
Dogs got the look that we wanted. That was just an off tackle to to the left side of our offensive line, we had Michigan rotating safeties away from that coming into the field.
Now we send Cook out to the near side from our vantage point. Empty set. Bennett in the pocket, going to throw a deep ball to James Cook, one-on-one, over the shoulder, caught it, 30, 25, 20, they tackle him around the 15-yard line. Colson, the junior Colson, the freshman linebacker from Brentwood, Tennessee, had to catch James Cook after a long pass play from Bennett into the Massey Ferguson red zone down to the 15-yard line. Dogs are up ready to snap the football. Bennett's trying to get him to hurry. Georgia going tempo here after a long gainer. Quick snap to Bennett. Throws for the end zone. They're holding all. They were holding Jermaine Burton and no flag. Two guys sitting there looking right at it and no penalty marker. They clearly were holding him.
I can't believe there's no flag on that, but you go back to the big play to James Cook before that. That's the matchup that you're looking for. You get James Cook on a linebacker, then great eyes by Stetson Bennett to hold the safety, and then you can't throw a more perfect pass.
53 yards on that gain by Cook, and then Georgia got up to the line and went in a hurry in the Massey Ferguson red zone and just got ripped off on that last play. There should have been a flag, and the Georgia fans saw the replay, and they're letting everybody know it. Second down and 10 from the Michigan 15. Give it to Cook on a sweep to the left. Sheds one tackler at the 18, but they're going to get him behind the line. He couldn't quite get to the edge, and Michigan's defense stretched it out almost to the numbers on the far side of the field. And they'll tackle Cook at the 16-yard line. He lost a yard.
Yeah, jet sweep there, well played. Michigan able to stretch that out. You're right on the fade that we threw into the end zone. Don't know how they missed that. He was getting his jersey grabbed.
Third down for the Dogs, 3rd and 11 after a lost yardage play. 5 out of 6 on third down so far in the game. Split backfield for Georgia, McIntosh and White. Stetson claps his hands. They snap it. Bennett to throw down the middle. Caught by McConkey running across. Makes the catch at the 10. They drag him down, and that's Dax Hill, who was the very talented nickelback that was questionable to play tonight because he was left back in Michigan. Didn't say the reason, but you can kind of figure out why. He flew down late, joined the team in the last couple of days, and is playing tonight. He made that tackle at the 10 for a 6-yard gain for Georgia, but it's 4th and 6 from the 11, and the Dogs will try to punch through 3 more here from Jack Podlesny. We'll try about a 29-yard field goal just inside the far hash, kicking in this direction to our right. Kick is away by Jack Pod. It's good into the net. Actually, I think it went over the net. That was a nice high kick from Jack Podlesny. 3 more for the Dogs, and it's 20-3. Georgia leads Michigan with 3:50 to go. Georgia 20, Michigan 3. 3:50 to go in the first half of the Orange Bowl. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck. There's only one call. That's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Jake Camarda to kick it off after the Jack Podlesny 28-yard field goal. 7 plays, 64 yards, and 3:26 on the scoring drive. It was Camarda's kick. Another boomer by the right-footed senior, over the back of the end zone for the touchback. And Georgia's scoring drive of 7 and 64 and 3:26. With the points provided by Jack Podlesny, the 28-yard field goal. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Michigan on their own 25-yard line after another touchback by Jake Camarda. 20-3. Getting late here in the second quarter. Haskins takes the carry and will try to bounce down the line to his right. Lewis Cine going to wrap him up first. They never got him to the turf, but they stop his forward progress. On the far side of the field, again from this angle, we're reversed from what many of you may be watching on television tonight. We're on the opposite side in the corner, so our descriptions may not match up with the pictures. It stopped him at the 26. It was a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, great job there by Lewis Cine coming up, securing the edge. Good job by the interior defensive line as well.
Snap to McNamara, throws it left flat to A.J. Henning. He came in motion from the far side, and McNamara hits him on the left side. Dean, and then William Poole also hit A.J. Henning on the near sideline. And where do they stack him up? They make the tackle at the 27-yard line. Again, only a 1-yard play for Michigan. They're taking their time. They don't want Georgia to get the ball back. Dogs have scored every time we've had it.
Well, this is an important part of this football game right now. The last couple of drives of the first half, especially with Michigan getting the football, want to get the Wolverines off the field right now.
3rd and 8, Wolverines from their own 27. McNamara in the shotgun, pressure from everywhere, steps up, gets away, but not from Nolan Smith. Number 4 dragged him down as he tried to step up in the pocket and take off. Smith with the tackle at the, where are they going to spot him down? Around the 27 or so.
Boy, just relentless pressure right there from Nolan Smith.
Timeout, Georgia. Second of the half. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. 2.
Scott Campbell, our referee out of the Big 12 Conference. 2:14 remaining. Big play by Nolan Smith. I'm not sure if that officially goes in the books as a sack. The line of scrimmage was the 27.
1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2,
3,
3, 3,
behind the
4,
27-yard line.
5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8.
And now Michigan on 4th and 8. Expected to punt it away. The Dogs call time to save precious seconds on the clock with 2:22 remaining. We invite you to stay tuned for the Breda Pest Management halftime report coming up with Neil Williamson. He's standing by for that as soon as we make our way through the first half. The halftime report protected by Breda Pest Management. With Breda, you don't have to be afraid of bugs.
Tremendous pressure on that 3rd down play coming from Channing Tindall, Trayvon Walker, and Jalen Carter. All flushed McNamara up into the pocket.
Michigan's Brad Robbins stands on his between the 12 and 13 to receive the snap, kick it away. Dogs come after it, almost got it with Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint. But Robbins' punt is a long kick, hanging high, and a fair catch called for on the other end by Kearis Jackson in the vicinity of the 31 or the 32-yard line. 48-yard punt. Rosemy-Jacksaint was so close to getting a hand on that ball as he came in from the left edge trying to rush the punt and get a hand on that football.
Well, I'm not sure how he missed it. It was right there. It looked like he was standing in front of the punter, and then a good job of holding up and making sure he didn't run into him.
Georgia on its own 31, leading 20-3. 2:15 to go, second quarter here in this playoff game in Miami. Empty set for the Dogs. Bennett will take the snap and throw it to his left. It's complete down the line. Georgia's offensive line trying to move the pile. It's still upright. No whistles yet. They finally moved the pile. It was Kenny McIntosh in the middle of the pile. I couldn't see who caught the ball. He was just swallowed up by huge bodies over there. Give the offensive line some credit for that one.
1, 2, 2, 3, 3,
43-yard line.
Yeah, just a bubble screen on the outside. Didn't look like it was going anywhere until those big boys got involved.
12 yards and a first down, Dogs. Bennett to throw. Hangs one up far sideline. There's some hand fighting going on. Ball sails over the head, incomplete, out of bounds. Trying to go to A.D. Mitchell. Battling with Jamon Green, the senior cornerback from DeSoto, Texas, on the Michigan sideline.
Stetson Bennett faked the draw out of shotgun there, trying to lull Michigan to sleep. Again, a lot of hand fighting on the outside. No flag again.
Second down and 10. Clock stops with 1:46 on the incomplete pass. Georgia up by 17. Ball's on our 43. We're coming this way. Bennett in the backfield with James Cook. Snap to Bennett, the quarterback. Steps to his right, hangs up a long pass deep. Caught! Burton, 25, so long, 10, 5, touchdown, Jermaine Burton. He's going to soak it up in the end zone as he stands and welcomes the cheers of the Georgia fans on this back end zone.
And what a throw from Stetson Bennett. He got flushed out of the pocket and almost just heaved it up like he was trying to throw the football away as he was under duress. And I think it lulled Michigan to sleep a little bit. The defensive back for Michigan and Burton both stopped, and then Burton located the football and took off, and nobody was close to him.
Burton beat Vincent Gray 57 yards on the strike from Bennett to Jermaine Burton, and he was loving it after that one. Point after try, Jack Podlesny up and good. Well, the Dog fans are loving it all right now here in South Florida. 27-3, Georgia laying it on Michigan here with 1:38 to go in quarter number 2.
Boy, what a series. You talk about the importance of the end of the first half and how critical it is to hold defensively, take some shots and opportunities if you get them offensively, but eliminate that 2-for-1. There's still time on the clock right now, still have football left, but so far so good for the good guys.
See, looking at a replay, it looked like Burton may have given Vincent Gray a little bit of a fake, a little bit of a hitch late in his route, and Gray bit on it and slowed down, and then Burton just rammed right by him, and Stetson with a perfect pass right in his arms in stride for the long 57-yard touchdown. The Dogs go 69 yards in 3 plays. It only took 37 seconds. And a 57-yard Bennett to Burton touchdown pass. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Boy, that's 2 deep balls that Stetson Bennett's thrown in this football game that you just can't throw any better. One to Burton, one to James Cook. Both drawn up as they're picture perfect.
Jake Camarda will drill another long kickoff. I think he did get the seats this time, or at least somebody leaning over the front row way behind the end zone got a hand on the football. And that's a long touchback. Jake Camarda, quite the weapon on the other end of the field, and Michigan will have it at the 25-yard line. Trailing now 27-3 with 98 seconds to go, second quarter here in the Orange Bowl. They'll start at the 25. McNamara in at quarterback. Corum is the back in the backfield. Off to the quarterback's left. Georgia's got 3 men with a hand on the ground. And Channing Tindall. Here comes Tindall from the edge. McNamara gets the ball out. Will throw. It is intercepted by Kendrick. Kendrick coming across the way. Backtracked. Michigan thought there was holding or interference on the far sideline. Wanted to go to Roman Wilson. But Kendrick picked off the pass. The Clemson transfer does his magic and gives the Dogs the ball at the Michigan 49-yard line. He was running back this way to try to find a clear path to the end zone. He backtracked from the point where he intercepted the football, but the Dogs will take it. There's still time on the clock and a lot of it. With 1:28 to go, Georgia's got it on the Michigan 49.
Boy, great job there by Kendrick. Gave a little deke like he was going to open up to the outside and go zone, jump back into the inside, playing man-to-man. I think confused McNamara. McNamara trying to go back shoulder, but threw that way upfield.
Interception. Previous play is under further review.
Well, you heard the referee, Scott Campbell. They're going to review this one. The play under review is brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. If it holds up, Kendrick, who's already got the Savage pads on the Georgia sideline, it'll be his 3rd interception of the season, and that would lead the team. But they're going to review it. Yeah, looking at the review, both guys were kind of on the sideline fighting for space, and it looked like both guys stepped out of bounds. Kendrick steps out of bounds and comes back in. And was it tipped by Michigan, or no, it was the first player to touch the ball was Kendrick, who bobbled it, caught his own tip for the apparent interception. Now they're reviewing it here in Miami, and they'll determine whether or not the interception will count. Big 12 conference officials here. Scott Campbell is the referee. He's got the headset on, looking into the video monitor and listening to the voices from above and guidance on how to determine the outcome of this play.
Well, the one big surprise right now in the first half is the amount of pressure and the way this Georgia defense is getting into the offensive backfield of Michigan. Michigan coming into this game led the country in tackles for loss. or fewest against tackles for loss, third in the country in sacks, and the Dogs have just been relentless right now in the offensive backfield of Michigan.
As we continue to watch a replay now, Z, there was a head-to-head collision on a block by Christopher Smith on Roman Wilson after the interception. Now, helmets collided there. I'm not sure if they're looking at that or not. There was no targeting call, but there doesn't have to be one call. They can go back and look at that if they deem that was the case.
The ruling on the field is an interception. During the return, personal foul, targeting number 29, return team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Number 29 has been disqualified.
Georgia completely caught off guard looking at the reaction of Kirby Smart and Christopher Smith on that. The interception is good, but now we've lost our starting safety, one of them. Christopher Smith is out for the rest of the ball game.
Man, if there's another one, the first half of that game as well.
That's right. If Georgia is fortunate enough to win this ball game, then in the national championship game, Christopher would miss the first half against Alabama, who's already advanced. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldog Sports Network. Your second quarter recap presented by Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit. Loans for land and farm. It's been all Bulldogs in both quarters, not just the second. 27-3 is our score. The Dogs 316 yards of offense in the first half, 101 for Michigan. Stetson Bennett's been red hot, 16 of 21, passing the football for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenny McIntosh has an 18-yard touchdown pass as well. Brock Bowers has already caught 5 balls for 55 yards and a score. James Cook has a couple of catches. Mitchell has 2. McIntosh has 2. We haven't run the ball a heavy amount. Zamir's run it 5 times for 16. Cook 3 for 24. On and on and on it goes for Georgia, who's had a lot of success, but now we've lost Christopher Smith for the rest of the ballgame on a targeting call. Georgia, after the penalty, will have the ball via the interception at our own 36. We're going to hand it off, run it straight up the gut between the tackles, and that is Zamir White. Stutter stepping his way through for a few extra yards. And Zamir will pick up 7 to the 43-yard line. And the Dogs with a minute 9, minute 8, leading at 27-3.
Dogs still taking their time right now. If we get a first down here, look for us to pick up the tempo.
Bennett back in the shotgun with White. Van Pran with the snap. Handoff Zamir. Runs straight ahead. A little bit to the right at right tackle. Going to be tackled by the linebacker, Junior Colson, the freshman. And down to the turf goes Zeus at the 44. Only got a yard. 3rd down and 2. Dogs look like they're satisfied with just getting the rest of the time off the clock. 30 seconds to go. And Adam Gillespie getting excited because there's a country music show coming on at halftime.
A pretty good spot right here. If the Dogs get the look they want with single safety to maybe take one more shot.
3rd down and 2 from the 44. We'll run it again with 13 seconds to go. Dogs ran it in there with Zeus once more. They work on the logo. They'll spot the ball down at midfield right at the 50. Hawkins the tackle, the free safety, and Barrett, one of their edge rushers. 5 seconds to go. 4 Dogs will take one more snap. They fake the pitch and throw a pass, lob it over the head of Zamir White, and that will be the last play of the half as the clock has hit 0-0 after 30 minutes of play. An incompletion to end the quarter and the first half, but what a half it was for the SEC runners-up. Georgia 27, Michigan 3. Halfway through the 2021 Orange Bowl on this New Year's Eve in Miami Gardens, Florida. We'll step aside. Coming back, we'll have a few words from the head coach, Kirby Smart. He'll chat with DJ Shockley on the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. Downs. Jay, what'd you say the most first half yards for Stetson Bennett in his career? Here's the kick by Jake Camarda, and he'll send it over the back of the end zone once again. All touchbacks for Camarda tonight, And there's another one. 6 for 6 on kicking that ball where they can't return it. So Michigan will start 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. In a deep hole here, but still a lot of football to play. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, McNamara in that first half, 8 out of 12, did have 1 interception, only 72 yards through the air.
1st and 10, Michigan on the 25. We'll watch it from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. Michigan will run it on the first play. Straight into a pile of bodies, as we've seen numerous times. Haskins with the carry, stacked up, middle of the line. No gain on the play. Jordan Davis and Trayvon Walker, the reason why there was no gain. Jordan Davis took up a lot of space and made the tackle.
Well, I'll tell you, trying to run right up the middle of this defense with Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, always going to be tough sledding.
Man in motion around the back of the quarterback, McNamara. He'll throw it out to the left side. A reaching catch by Haskins, the running back on the far sideline, is made at the 35-yard line and hit there on the sideline by Lewis Seen. But a gain of 10 and a first down on the throw to Haskins. Well, if you can't run it, I guess we got to throw it to him, because Michigan's got to get the ball in Haskins' hands somehow for the senior from St. Louis, Missouri.
Could have just been a side adjustment there. We brought William Poole off the slot, brought Lewis Seen down from his safety position. Haskins just on a swing route out of the backfield.
Haskins has only rushed for 13 yards tonight. McNamara tries to escape the pocket, tries to leak out to his right, but chased down by Trayvon Walker and others. A cast of many there chasing down the Michigan quarterback. And they'll tackle him down at the 29-yard line, it looks like, down on that end of the field. And that'll be the 3rd sack of the game by this Bulldog defense. And the loss is back to the 29. 6 yards loss on the sack.
Well, just a simple stunt up front, but the Dogs, again, able to find creases in that offensive line and get penetration. 3 Dogs in on the pressure there.
Empty set, McNamara throws out of the pocket to his left to Corum, who tried to make a one-handed diving catch. It's incomplete at the 35-yard line. Nakobe Dean and Lewis Seen over there. Dean was in coverage of Blake Corum, who's normally a handful both in the backfield and trying to cover. Very fast, 5'8", only 5'8", 200 pounds, but Dogs take care of business on that play. It's 3rd and long for Michigan from their 29, 3rd down and 16. McNamara claps his hands. We jump a little bit. I don't think we're offsides. He'll throw it, and wrestled away by the tight end over the middle is Eric All, the all-conference tight end for Michigan. Was able to pull it away from William Poole in the middle of the field, and that's a big pass play for Michigan, and they pick up a first down.
Offside, number 88, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Dan Jackson made the stop. He's in the game with no Christopher Smith, and it was Jalen Carter that jumped off sides. Penalty declined. Ball up to the 50, a gain of 21 for Michigan. First down for the Wolverines at midfield. Going to hand it off to Haskins. He got a block on the near edge. He's still running into Georgia territory inside the 40, down close to the 30-yard line. Finally tackling and grabbing him and forcing him out of bounds is Lewis Seen at the Georgia 31-yard line. He got 19 on that one.
Boy, Dogs may have gotten away with the face mask as well at the end of that play.
1st and 10, Michigan on the Dogs' 31-yard line. We had them backed up on 3rd and long, but let them get away. Now they've had a couple of gash plays. Snap to McNamara. Handoff Haskins. This time he won't get far. He runs at left tackle and left guard. And will be jammed up there by, I think Beal was the linebacker, Julian Rochester and Jalen Carter, the initial tacklers for the Dogs defense.
Dogs showed pressure there, forced Michigan to check. Dogs countered that check with one of their own, got back into more of a zone look. A game of cat and mouse. Dogs won that one.
Haskins got 3 to the 28, so it's 2nd down and 7 for the Wolverines. They trail 27-3, first possession of the second half. McNamara to throw it in the left flat, dropped by Edwards out of the backfield. Donovan Edwards, the freshman, was in motion to the left. McNamara hit him in stride right in the hands, and it just popped right out incomplete.
Yeah, just a bubble screen on the outside, and he had room to run. William Poole was coming up in support. A nice cut block on William got him to the ground, so fortunate there for the Dogs. That one was dropped and put on the turf.
3rd and 7 for the Wolverines. They're 3 of 7 on 3rd down. And they'll switch quarterbacks. They'll get J.J. McCarthy, the freshman, into the ball game on 3rd down and 7, excuse me. Ball's on the 28 of Georgia. And Michigan's going to call a timeout.
First of the half, timeout on the field.
11:42 on the clock, 3rd quarter. Michigan with a big 3rd down play coming up after the break. Our second half tonight is brought back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. 3rd down and 7 from the 28 from Michigan. And they'll get the ball between the hash marks to Eric All, the tight end, on the pass play by the Wolverines, Jay McCarthy. And will tackle All at the 18-yard line. And that's enough for the first down for the Wolverines as they poke their head inside the Bulldogs' red zone now.
Well, Bulldogs brought Nakobe Dean on pressure away from where Eric All caught a little angle route. But once he caught it, because we brought pressure there, had plenty of running room to get the first down.
Dan Jackson made the tackle in the secondary. 10-yard gain for Michigan and a first down. McNamara back in. Play fake, handoff Haskins, trying to sweep around to the near side. And Haskins going to be swept out his legs, swept out from under him around the 15, the 14 and a half, maybe. Nolan Smith on the stop for the Bulldog defense. But Michigan in here deep now, threatening on their first possession of the second half. They trail 27-3, 10:44 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Great scrape there by Nolan Smith. It looked like Haskins had an alley to run through, but out of nowhere came Nolan.
Haskins behind McNamara in this formation. They've got a tight end offset as a fullback or an H-back, and early movement by Michigan's offensive line. That'll be a false start on the Wolverines. Looked like the right tackle, Stuber, the all-conference and potential first-round draft pick for the Wolverines that moved early.
Number 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, they say it was Keegan, the guard, and not the tackle. Maybe it was more than one guy. I saw Stuber move too. We pointed at him, and the other guy was moving on the other side. That was a take your pick. 2nd down, 11. Ball back on the 20 for Michigan. Wolverines trying to get in the end zone for the first time tonight. Dogs defense has other plans. McNamara throws to the end zone. Intercepted again. Kendrick in the end zone. Steps out of the back corner. That'll be a touchback for Georgia. 2nd pick of the game for Darian Kendrick.
Boy, Kendrick was in great position. McNamara thought his receiver was going to continue to the back of the end zone on a corner route. His receiver just stopped. Kendrick goes there, and an easy pick for him.
Not sure why Baldwin just stopped running his route. He might have had something to do with fighting to deny that interception. As it is, it's the ball going to the Dogs. We'll have it at the 20 of the night. Dogs have it on the touchback. Georgia's ball, 1st and 10 on our 20. Leading 27-3. 3rd quarter with 10:02 to go. James Cook in the backfield. Stetson Bennett in the shotgun. McIntosh in motion. Now back the other way with a little return motion. We hand it to Cook, and there's a man in the backfield immediately that will wrap up Cook. Ross, the linebacker, shot the gap. James was able to get the football back to the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten it just across. About the length of the football. He that's what he gained. So it's 2nd down, a long 9. They call it 2nd down and 10 and no gain, but he did get a little bit of a yard, a portion of one.
Yeah, one of the few times tonight we just whiff on the offensive line. Ross came in on a linebacker blitz right into the A-gap. We just missed him.
Cook shifts from left to right behind Bennett in the shotgun. Stetson takes the snap, hands it to Cook again, runs on an angle to the left into a crowd of bodies there. Hutchinson was one. They also had Christopher Hinton from Johns Creek, Georgia. Played at Greater Atlanta Christian School. He makes the stop. Gets up off the bottom of the pile. The 6'4 junior, 310 pounds. The gain was 2. Ball's on the 22. Cook comes out. Zamir comes in. Also, look who's back. Kendall Milton in the backfield now in a split backfield formation. Milton's been out a long time with an injury, knee injury on a right leg. He's got it wrapped up and braced up tonight. Third down for the Dogs from our own 22. Snap to Bennett. Passing situation. Now he's going to run. Runs out of the pocket. They're chasing from behind. He'll throw it back across his body. Ooh, a dangerous throw. That just does land incomplete at the Bulldogs 40. Michigan had a guy reaching for it downfield in front of one of our receivers. Almost got a hand on it. Fortunately, that ball lands incomplete, and we can kick for the first time tonight.
Well, Stetson got away with one there. That's the golden rule. Never run to your right, throw across your body into the middle of the field. Pretty good coverage there by Michigan downfield, and Stetson, with a guy in his face, tries to throw it up to Loudon McConkey. Fortunate that one wasn't picked off.
Jake Camarda to punt for the first time tonight. Takes the snap at the 8. Here they come. They don't get it. And Camarda gets off a boomer back to Henning. Collects it at the 20-yard line. Makes one man miss. Still running. Now far side of the field. We're chasing. He's at the 35, the 38, and then tackled out of bounds the vicinity of the 40. Well, second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations. We welcome you back inside the Piedmont Healthcare booth here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Camarda's punt was 54 yards, but Henning's return was 16, and Michigan set up at their own 40-yard line, trailing 27-3 with 8 minutes and change to go in the third quarter. First and 10 for the Wolverines. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. McNamara throws off the hand of Corum. A short little dump pass right over the line of scrimmage. And Corum got a hand on it, but nothing else. It's incomplete. It'll be second and 10, Michigan.
Yeah, just off target there for McNamara. Corum just out of the backfield, just ran, sat down on a little spot route. McNamara about 3 or 4 yards off. Had pretty good protection. We did bring a linebacker, Michigan, that time. Nice job of picking it up. The blitzing linebacker was Channing Tindall.
And now Michigan will change the quarterback. They'll get J.J. McCarthy back in the game, the freshman. Empty set, second and 10 from their 40. Snap back to McCarthy. Looks to his left and throws. Pass is caught around the 45 or the 46 by Cornelius Johnson, who coming into the game was their leading receiver. 37 catches. Kendrick made the tackle right on the spot. And they'll spot him up at the 30, now make it the 47-yard line. So it was a gain of 7. It's third down and 3 for the Wolverines. They'll keep the freshman in at quarterback, McCarthy. One back in the backfield, that's Corum to his left. Michigan coming in this direction here in our viewpoint. Handed off to Corum. He fumbled the football! We fumbled it, and it looks like Georgia's going to recover it. There's still a fight for it. At the Georgia 44-yard line, the Dogs try to get on that thing. It was wiggling all over the field. Dogs think they have it. Is there an official sign?
First down.
What do they call? First down, Georgia. Okay. Georgia has recovered the fumble. Third turnover of the game for Michigan. As Corum came through the line, he got stripped and the ball went bouncing. Nakobe Dean ripped it out of his arms, and then the chase was on to get on the football.
And we couldn't see who was on the bottom of the pile to recover it.
We'll look at a replay. Wyatt had a good shot at it, but I don't think he ended up with it. I think it squirted out from underneath him. Well, you can find out who has the Savage pads on the sideline, and that'll be the determining factor. Who's got the pads on? It is Wyatt. Wyatt apparently recovered the fumble for the Dogs. Michigan's turned it over 3 times for the first time this season. Dogs with the ball on our own 44. Here we go. Can we strike again? Bennett with time to throw. Looks deep, flag down, throws it over the middle. Oh, my goodness, what a catch. Kearis Jackson with one hand, but it might be for naught. 2 flags in the Georgia backfield.
Yeah, that's in the vicinity of where a holding call is going to be made, but you're right. Kearis Jackson going over the middle, absolutely no fear, goes up with one hand right in front of the Michigan safety and hauls it in.
down at the Wolverine
There are
30.
2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Holding, number 69, offense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 69, offense. That penalty enforced. 15 yards from the previous spot, still first down.
Jamari Salyer got his money's worth on that one. He was having a rough time with, I didn't see who he was blocking that time, but that wipes out a big momentum play for Georgia. And we'll back us up a little bit. Back to the, 29-yard line now. The Dogs on their own 29. And it'll be 1st and 25. So behind the sticks here on first down from our own 29.
Well, they called Salyer. It may have been Warren McClendon. He had Hutchinson bull rushing him on the outside and had him in a headlock.
Split backfield with Milton and Cook. We run Cook out to the right. They tip a ball to the right side. He still catches it. Cook breaks a tackle at the 32, up the far sideline in front of the Michigan bench across the 40 and tackled around the 43 by Colson, one of their linebackers. And the ball was tipped, throwing it down the line. Bennett had it tipped by Dax Hill, who was in the Georgia backfield. Somehow that ball still got to James Cook, and he was still able to catch it, although it was wobbling and dying when it got to him, but he was still able to get yardage. In fact, he got 13 yards at 2nd down and 12.
For a huge pickup there, just a bubble screen. And you're right, Dax Hill couldn't have played that any better outside of knocking it down.
Ball at the 42, play fake, and a dump to Bowers is incomplete, and that ball was tipped. Hill got another one, came in to tip it from Bennett, who looked like he kind of jumped and tried to throw it to his left to Brock Bowers. And Hill was able to get a finger on that one as well and deflect the ball away so it didn't get to the target. That's an incomplete pass. And it'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Dogs.
Well, Michigan right now pinning their ears back, and boy, they are coming. They know they've got to get stops. They can take chances right now, nothing to lose, and they are coming after Stetson Bennett.
McIntosh runs out of the backfield. We go with an empty set. Stetson in the shotgun, snap, quick throw, left to McIntosh for a screen. Kenny Mack, 50, Kenny Mack, 45, Kenny Mack down to the Michigan 40. Mike Morris, the defensive end, a reserve guy, had to make the tackle way downfield. And McIntosh on that nice play from Stetson Bennett picks up a Scana Energy first down all the way down to the Michigan. They spotted on the 41-yard line.
Great play call there by Coach Monken. He saw the intense pressure that Michigan was putting on to Stetson Bennett. Just run a little screen pass, slip your offensive line out, get him in front of Kenny Mack. Nice pickup for the first down.
Burton with a block on the edge to help McIntosh go for 18. Toss to Zamir White, left side. Zamir runs through the first wave on the near sideline. Zeus, they like that. Contact at the end. Tackled by Gray, who paid the price around the 30-yard line, right on the 30, as a matter of fact. A gain of 12 and another Scana Energy first down. Dogs moving now in a hurry. 1st and 10 on the Wolverine 30, far end of the field here at Hard Rock Stadium.
Boy, nice blocks there by Salyer and Schaefer. You go back to the play before, Cedric Van Pran had a nice block as well.
Zeus stays in the backfield with Bennett, who's in the shotgun. Here comes the snap. Going to move to his left. A little dump pass left flat to Zeus. Gets to the sideline. That was easy pickings right there. Zeus steps out of bounds without being touched. They both just kind of move to their left in unison. 1 step, 2 step. Here comes the ball, and Zeus caught it, and to the sideline he goes, down to the 21-yard line, a gain of 9, 2nd down and 1.
It was a swing pass, but that's nothing more than a toss sweep going away from an oncoming blitzer.
Now we will toss it to the right side. A sweep to the right with Zamir White. Big Darnell Washington out in front trying to block. Michigan will tackle him on the far sideline. Looks around the 17-yard line. A gain of 4 as we pause station identification. Bulldog Sports Network. .4:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dogs in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Toss to Cook to the right. A sweep with blocking by the tight ends. Cook slams on the brakes inside the 10. Flag comes in from the referee behind the play. And that's going to wipe out a gain that ended up inside the 10 for the Dogs and James Cook. Fitzpatrick was out in front blocking, as was Warren McClendon, but the referee, Scott Campbell from the Big 12 Conference, saw something and hoisted the flag to the turf.
Holding, number 0, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, still first down.
Well, they got big Darnell Washington for a hold. And we're having to overcome some penalties on this possession, Z, but if we can, boy, that speaks highly of the way we're able to move the football.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Already have overcome one personal foul with the face mask. It was called on Sawyer, may have been on McClendon. Able to overcome that one, see if we can do it again.
1st and 14 now, the yardage, back on the Michigan 20. Cook in the backfield. James going to get the carry. There was a hole at right tackle. There's another flag as Cook gets jammed up inside the 20 after a gain of maybe a couple. They throw him back. Here comes another flag. And we'll see what this one is about. That one was thrown by the center judge.
Personal foul, chop block, number 69 and 19, high-low combination, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down.
Boy, now you have to worry about just field goal range and getting some kind of points out of here.
Well, that time keeps ticking away from Michigan. They're down 24 points, and we're at 3:30 to go.
And a game that's been marred by very few penalties, all of a sudden racking up on the Dogs.
1st and 31. You don't see that one a lot. We're back on the Michigan 35. Run out of the pistol. Zeus behind Bennett. Play fake. Stetson sets up the throw. Pressure. Rolls away from it to his left. Scrambling and looking. Still with the ball in his hands to the 30. Hesitates. And now drilled out of bounds into the Georgia bench area.
Boy, and the Dog bench wanted a flag over there on a late hit on Stetson.
Couldn't see all the contact at the end of the play just because of all the bodies on the sideline and where we're positioned here in the Piedmont Healthcare booth. But he got to the 28.
And Stetson holding on to that football for a long time. If he had a split second more, looks like he had, I'm not sure who it was, but on a deep post running down the field, would have had a shot at being able to get to him. It was A.D. Mitchell.
Bennett scrambled for 9, goes under center this time. Will take it and roll to the right. Might be a broken play. Bennett just running towards the sideline. Will heave it into the seats. Throws it away, incomplete. As soon as he pulled the ball out from under the center and rolled to the right, that looked like a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know if Zamir White was in the backfield, but he was unable to pick up anybody blocking, and Michigan had 3 or 4 guys bearing down on Stetson. Fortunately, he was able to throw the ball away.
Yeah, and there was no receiver in that vicinity. It was a naked bootleg as he was going out. It looked like a busted route from somebody, so no receiver was in Stetson Bennett's field of vision.
3rd and 22 from the Wolverines' 28-yard line. Penalties have hurt us on this possession. Bennett rolls to the right, throws it towards the end zone, and broken up on the far sideline down inside the 10 by Michigan, trying to get it to Ladd McConkey, who was running to the far corner. DJ Turner, the cornerback on that side from Suwanee, Georgia, was able to get over in front of him and break up the play. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 22 now for the Dogs. Too many penalties, too much to overcome to get in the end zone. We'll try to go for 3 here with Jack Podlesny.
Yeah, good coverage there by Michigan. Dogs again try to move the pocket. We had 3 guys on Hutchinson there, and he was still able to break through that and apply some pressure.
46-yard try, near hash kicking left. Kick is away towards the upright. No good. Missed it to the left. Michigan football, 1st and 10 on their own 28 after a long missed field goal try by the Dogs. McNamara in the shotgun at quarterback. Going to throw it over the middle, and it's caught. Immediately tackled. It's Edwards. And tackled by Quay Walker, number 7. Tackled by number 7, Quay Walker. The linebacker makes the stop, middle of the field. Only a 2-yard gain to the 30.
Dogs staying aggressive, single safety, brought William Poole again off the slot, just time after time.
McNamara wants to throw, escapes, tackled, sacked, ball is out, stripped. Did Michigan fall back on it? I think they did. I think they were able to recover their fumble. They put it on the ground again as the quarterback tried to step up in the pocket and elude the rush. He got it stripped. Nolan Smith may have been the guy that stripped him. He was a strip sack, but Georgia apparently couldn't recover the fumble. Had another opportunity for turnover number 4. Couldn't get it.
Boy, that ball reversed right back into McNamara's arms, and it was Trayvon Walker that had the initial pressure, forcing McNamara out of the pocket.
3rd and 8, Michigan on their own 30. They breathe a sigh of relief, and they've got McCarthy in there, the other quarterback. One back in the backfield, that's Edwards. McCarthy takes the snap, sets and throws, complete over the middle to the tight end All. We're having trouble getting him on the ground. Made the catch right around midfield on the big Orange Bowl logo. Dan Jackson and Nakobe Dean finally tackled him, but way downfield at the Georgia 45-yard line, a gain of 25.
Dogs didn't bring pressure that time, sat back in coverage, and he just got away from Quay Walker in that inside skinny post.
McCarthy stays in there, throws it wide and high to his right. Intended target was Roman Wilson, about 4 yards in from the Georgia sideline and the 35-yard line. And McCarthy had too much mustard on it and airmailed it into the bench.
Yeah, again, under pressure on that one, forcing the high throw, but Roman Wilson was open on a little out route.
23 seconds to go in the third quarter, 27-3. Georgia leading Michigan here in the Orange Bowl. 2nd down 10 on the 45 of Georgia. Wolverines with a football. And there's the snap to McCarthy. Looks to his left, now going to scramble and roll. Ball's in his right hand. He pump fakes, and he runs right into Quay Walker, who knocks him back into yesterday. Holy smokes. Laid a blow at the 40-yard line. I mean, McCarthy didn't try to slide. He didn't try to juke. He just took the full brunt of that hit from number 7.
Boy, it was textbook. Quay Walker was out in coverage and actually hiding behind the Michigan Wolverine he was guarding, then threw him away right at the last minute and blew up McCarthy.
He got 4 yards the hard way to the 41. That's the last play of the quarter. We go to the final 15 here in Northwest Miami, Florida, in the Orange Bowl. Georgia leading Michigan 27-3, 15.
Fellas, the one thing that he saw Coach Smart during that timeout walk up to most of the guys and even in that defensive huddle, and the one thing he said was composure. Keep our composure. 15 minutes away and finish this ball game off. No more chippiness. He didn't want nobody getting thrown out of his ball game, but he said the number one thing is stay composed.
Good advice, Shock. Thank you very much. 27-3 with 15 minutes remaining for a trip to Indianapolis and the national championship to face the Alabama Crimson Tide on January 10th. Dogs up 27-3. Start of the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 6 for Michigan now on the Georgia 41. McCarthy chased out of the pocket. Nolan Smith going to chase him. Oh, couldn't get his legs. Stays upright and he throws it, almost intercepted out of bounds on the left end of the field. He just threw the pass. Dan Jackson was diving as he was running out of space. Down on the receiving end, almost intercepted the ball. All of it, I believe, I was shielded by bodies down there, but it looked like it was all out of bounds anyway. And boy, Nolan Smith, Zeke, came really close to getting J.J. McCarthy in his legs as he tried to scramble out of the pocket.
Boy, did he ever. Came all the way from his outside linebacker position on a stunt right over the center into the A-gap. Just continued that circle route in hot pursuit of McCarthy.
4th and 6 on the Georgia 41. Michigan going to go for it. Snap to McCarthy. Here comes pressure. He fires across the field. Too high, incomplete. Over Mike Sainristil, the junior receiver, who's 5'10". He needed to be about 7'10" to catch that ball. Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. 14:46 remaining. Dogs take over on downs. 1st and 10 at our 41. We'll run it straight ahead. Bennett the handoff to the back end of the pile. And that was Kendall Milton getting the carry. Kendall's first carry in quite some time as he recovers from injury. And good to see him back in the lineup, the 6'1" sophomore from Fresno, California.
The Dogs have found themselves in this position for so much of the year. Big lead going into the fourth quarter. Now let me put it on the backs of this offensive lineman and ice this game.
Milton got a yard, 2nd and 9 from the 42. Dogs will keep it on the ground again here with a lot of time remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll run it into the pile. Michigan stacks it up. Our offensive line trying to move folks around, and that was Milton again on the carry. And after they unpile everyone, we'll see where they spot the football. Looks like around the 47 or so, and that time Kendall got 5. So it's 3rd down and 4.
Pretty good push there right behind the back of Cedric Van Pran and Warren Erickson.
Now Zeus is in the backfield. We run a man in motion, Brock Bowers. Now he sets up in the backfield. And Bennett, he eludes Hinton, the rusher, and rolls out to his left and tries to scramble for the 1st down. I think he got it as he crosses the 50 into Michigan territory, down around the 47. That is a Scana Energy 1st down. Hinton came straight at him, and as if Stetson had eyes all around his head, was able to take a jab step to the right and roll to the left and elude the pass rush and left Hinton grabbing at air.
Boy, what an athletic move right there. Justin Schaefer was over Hinton. Hinton got inside of him with just a little inside move, but Stetson able to spin out of that, and the athleticism again pays off.
On the Michigan 48, keep it on the ground, run it. Power football between the tackles, offensive line moving blue shirts back. And that's Zamir White running behind a lot of beef in front of him, and you can hear the crowd Zeus as they pick up a few yards and move the pile and demoralize Michigan a little bit more with 11, make it 12:30 remaining and a 27-3 lead. Ball's on the 42. 2nd down and 4.
With just a big aggressive run of that offensive line, just pushing the pile.
Zeus in the backfield with Bennett. 2nd and 4 again on the Michigan 42-yard line for the Dogs as they come this way. Michigan crowds the box, run it with Zeus. They latch on around the 40-yard line. Smith, the nose tackle, jumped on Zamir's back, trying to ride him down. He kept running. He had blockers still blocking in front of him, trying to get every inch that he can. Ball just inside the Michigan 40. He got a couple. It's going to be 3rd and a yard. 3rd down, a measly 1 from the 39. James Cook checks in to the contest. We'll bring 2 tight ends tight on the left edge, or the right edge of the line of scrimmage for Georgia. Cook's in the backfield with Bennett, who's in the shotgun. Snap to Bennett. Want to throw on 3rd and short. Hook it up for Cook. He's wide open. Caught. 21, 15, 10. Hops into the end zone. Touchdown, James Cook. A homecoming for Cook, who's from South Florida. Touchdown, Dogs. What's that I hear? Hammer and nail and coffin. 33-3. Dogs lead it.
Boy, James Cook just able to slip out of the backfield and was running down the field like the Lone Ranger. Nobody was around him at all. Stetson Bennett able to go find him, and you're right. Send this one home.
Stetson got clobbered on the delivery, but was still able to deliver. The mailman, appropriately enough, to James Cook. Over 300 yards passing tonight. Point after try. Jack Podlesny splits the pipes. It's good. So the 39-yarder from Bennett to Cook gives Georgia the big old fat lead, and that's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. And Chris Shivani's brothers wanted me to say hello to them tonight, so hello to all the Shivani brothers tonight. But we're not saying hey to the dad. Here's the kick by Jake Camarda. That's going to be another touchback into the end zone. That was the message, right, Chris? Okay, yeah, he's nodding his head yes. Michigan will have the ball at the 25-yard line, trailing 34-3. 11-11 to go in the game.
Quite the performance here by the Georgia Bulldogs in all aspects of this football game. Michigan came into this contest probably the hottest team coming out of the regular season and conference championships. But boy, they ran into a buzzsaw tonight.
J.J. McCarthy, the freshman, in at quarterback, throws it into the backfield to his right to Corum, who makes the catch around the 18. Now he's hopping up the field for yardage, and we pummel him at the 25 at the line of scrimmage. Nakobe Dean was grabbing at him, and then Walthour delivered the blow, and it's going to be no gain on the play. Caught it about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then just barely got back. It's still 2nd down and 10 from the 25. A lot of the Michigan fans have headed back to the beach, apparently. McCarthy with Corum to his left in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Snap to McCarthy. Pressure up the middle. He'll throw. Caught at the 35 on the Georgia sideline by Johnson, Cornelius Johnson. Tackled by Keely Ringo at the 35. That's a gain of 10. And a 1st down for the Wolverines. I think that's only the 2nd catch for Johnson tonight, who came in as their leading receiver. And that is correct. Quick throw or quick snap. They'll throw it to Corum, this time running on the right side with blocking. But the Dogs defense fights through it. They tackle Corum as he crosses the 40. Darian Kendrick, who's had a big game, and the linebacker Robert Beal make the tackle at about the 40.5-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 from the 41 is where they'll call it. Michigan going with tempo here. Well, what else would they go with? They're down 34-3. This pass off the hands of the intended receiver at the 48. That was Eric All, the tight end. Lewis Seen in coverage. Pass is incomplete. And the clock stopped for the moment with 9:45 to go. And Michigan looking at 3rd down and 5 now from their own 41.
Dogs have just done a great job in tackling tonight. Very limited yards after contact, getting people to the ground very quickly. Good open field tackling. It's just been textbook.
Michigan has 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 3 to the left, excuse me. Now McCarthy takes the snap, and he gets away from Walker, who had him wrapped up. Now McCarthy off and running. McCarthy in front of the Georgia bench, crosses midfield and out of bounds. Here comes a flag and another flag. Must be a late hit over, and all that crowd couldn't see the end of the play. But flags went high in the air as the Michigan quarterback got away from Trayvon Walker, who looked like he had him wrapped up for a sack. And then McCarthy, who is the dual threat guy, was able to dual threat us. He took off running. And we'll check the play at the end over there. I can't even see where they've marked the ball. That's out of bounds.
That's going to be on Michigan.
Really?
Blindside hit
On Dan Jackson, perhaps.
The result of the play was a line to gain was made. After the play was over, personal foul, illegal blindside block. Number 2, offense, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It'll still be 1st and 10.
Blake Corum delivered the blindside block on Dan Jackson. Good eyes there, Z. I couldn't see anything from this angle. As McCarthy was able to get out of bounds, practically untouched. He was untouched, and then Corum came in with right across the front of the body. Now, in the old days, that wouldn't be a dirty hit, but now it kind of is for a safety issue.
Well, maybe even in the old days, just because McCarthy had stepped out of bounds, you can see Jackson loosen up a little bit and just got blown up.
So Michigan has the ball back on their 38, but it's still, as you heard the referee say, 1st and 10. Here goes McCarthy, going to take off and run. Oh, pads are clacking at the 46-yard line. Nolan Smith and Quay Walker with a contact stop on the quarterback. McCarthy, who's up quickly and back in position, ready to go. Dogs defense trying to get set. They got 7 yards on the play to the 45. McCarthy now from the hash will throw it left and short hop it. Well, that was good if we were taking infield practice. But Anthony, the receiver, had no chance to catch that one. He short hopped him by about 3 yards in front of the Georgia bench, incomplete.
Georgia defensively never really got set up on that one. Michigan quick snapped the football. We had still had guys trying to get into proper alignment.
Michigan now taking a little longer. The incomplete pass stopped the clock with 8:49 remaining in the game. 34-3 Dogs here in the Orange Bowl. Out of the pistol now with Edwards behind McCarthy. Give it to Edwards, and he got through the first wave, but then got clobbered from the side by Nolan Smith, who came in low and hit him around the hips and knocked him sideways near midfield. They picked up the first down to the 49-yard line. They got 4. Michigan going quickly here, 8:30 to go. They haven't been in the end zone tonight. They've thrown an interception in the end zone, but haven't been in it with their guys. McCarthy will pass. Ball is out of the hands of all the tight end, defended by Channing Tindall. And then they had another receiver back behind him. I think that was Henning, who almost caught the tipped pass, but it lands incomplete. Eric All has been a frequented target tonight. In fact, he's their leading receiver, 4 catches for 63 yards.
Yeah, he's really the only Wolverine that's given us any kind of problems tonight.
2nd and 10, balls on the Michigan 49 for the Wolverines. They're all in blue tonight, and they're running away from us here from our vantage point in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. Edwards off to the left of the quarterback, McCarthy. He's got time to throw, going to hang one far sideline, hang it up in the air deep, and overthrows everybody. Running for it was Wilson, Roman Wilson, covered by Darian Kendrick, who's already got 2 interceptions tonight, but that ball, that just showed off the arm of J.J. McCarthy right there. He heaved it deep and long, and it sailed over everybody.
Yeah, Roman Wilson had a step or 2 on Kendrick. A well-thrown football there. That's probably 6. So that one out of reach for everybody.
Missed his target by about 3 yards. McCarthy now ready to go. It's 3rd and 10 from the 49 of the Wolverines for Michigan. McCarthy pointing towards his sideline, and his receivers out on that side. They work on the near hash from our vantage point. Snap back in the shotgun. McCarthy moves to his right, throws the ball, same spot. And this time flag down, but pass is caught, I think. Yeah, he caught it anyway, and there's a flag, 2 flags on the play. Donovan Edwards this time made the catch around the 10. He beat Quay Walker, the linebacker, down deep. And it'll be interference on the Dogs, but the catch was made anyway.
Pass interference, number 7, defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, Michigan liked that matchup they got with Donovan Edwards, who has tremendous speed, matched up with our linebacker, who Quay Walker kind of held his own there, but interfered on the play. And now Michigan with a long gain down to the 10-yard line, 41 yards on the pass play. And it's going to be goal to go for the Wolverines from the Georgia 10. Now the officials are huddling up, this Big 12 conference group.
They may want to take another look to see if he actually
ruling on the
caught the
field
football.
as a catch for a first down. The previous play is under further review.
And that's exactly it, as they'll take a look at the video monitor. And the play is under review, brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So that will certainly change things up. If it's determined not to be a catch, it'll just be the 15 yards for the penalty. Timeout with 7:59 remaining in the game. Meriwether and Tharp scoreboard. Meriwether and Tharp, the Atlanta Divorce team. Other bowl action from today. Bama advanced to the national championship. They beat Cincinnati 27-6 in the Cotton. Hawks beat the Cavaliers in the NBA 121-118. Michigan are going to run it wide to the left. And that's Edwards after the handoff from McCarthy, who apparently is going to finish up the game for Michigan. And Edwards drilled by Dan Jackson as he tried to stretch that out wide to our left here on the Georgia sideline. And he was hit at the 6, way down on the other end of the field. It looks like 2nd down and goal now from the 6. The gain was 2. That was a long run for a measly 2 yards and to get clobbered on the end. Dogs defense still shifting, moving around. McCarthy right in front of the goalpost on the near hash. Takes the snap out of the shotgun, throws a quick ball on a slant, and it's incomplete near the goal line. Trying to go to Roman Wilson, sneak it in there, but Keely Ringo said no thank you. And the pass is incomplete.
Dogs man across the board there again. Brought Nakobe Dean with pressure. Tried to sneak Quay Walker all the way across the formation as well to get underneath that slant as he was reading the eyes of McCarthy.
It's one of my favorite books, actually, The Eyes of McCarthy. Did you read that?
I did not.
You saw the movie, right? McCarthy is in at quarterback. Corum to his left. McCarthy snapping the shotgun, running for his life to the right. Nakobe takes a swipe at his legs and misses. He throws it into the end zone, and it is incomplete in the back corner. Roman Wilson. Everybody was running to that far back corner. And the pass play is no good for Michigan. That's going to bring up fourth down and goal.
Defensive player.
Nakobe Dean still sitting on the turf, not getting up after the play. He was bearing down on McCarthy. That'd be a good race to watch him run in straight line running right there. After they held Nakobe Dean, he kind of got a late start on the pass rush, and he took a swipe at McCarthy's legs as they were running toward the sideline, unable to get to him. But time has been called since Nakobe was a little slow in getting up.
Yeah, he looked like he tried to get up and went back down. Not sure if it's a cramp. It's a hot, humid day here in South Florida, and he has been running all over the field.
Yeah, I think you may be right. They've got him some liquid out there as he's being tended to. 7:06 remaining in the ball game. The Champions for Charity game is on every time the Dogs win. Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta win, because Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities for every regular season win. And then for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. There's a big check coming tonight from Walton Gas. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas. 34-3. 7 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter of this year's version of the Orange Bowl, which also happens to be a college football playoff semifinal. And it's been all Bulldogs tonight. Michigan with another late threat here, but they're looking at 4th and 6, 4th and goal from the Georgia 6. Dogs would like to keep them out of the end zone just to hold up their end of the bargain. They've only given up a field goal tonight. So Nakobe off the field. Hopefully he's okay. He's able to get off on his own. And here we go. 4th and goal from the 6. McCarthy in the shotgun, man in motion to the far side. They throw it to him. Edwards got to make an open field tackle. We miss it, but we clobber him at the 5. Kendrick had Dan Jackson's back. Jackson missed the open field tackle around the 10, but Darion Kendrick drilled him out of bounds on the far side. And it's the Dogs' ball going the other way. 3rd time in the ball game we stopped Michigan on 4th down.
But unbelievable job of this team coming prepared and ready to play tonight. And it's been fun to watch. The attitude's been great down here tonight.
Thanks, Shock. Here's the handoff to Kendall Milton from the 5, way down on the far end of the field. And Milton will break off right of tackle and get hit as he comes through the line up to the 9-yard line. He got 4. The stop made by Chris Jenkins, a sophomore defensive end for Michigan. And the Dogs will begin to eyeball that clock, stay in that huddle as long as they can, get all those deep breaths in, and try to whittle away the remaining 6 minutes and 25 seconds of this game. And then head to the national championship game for a second appearance in school history, at least in this format. Snap back to Bennett. Going to hand it off. We'll run it between the tackles again. And that's Kendall again. Milton working his way for positive yards. Stopped by Smith, one of their linemen, between the tackles. Got the ball out to the 12.
Good block there by Warren McClendon as well. And Kendall Milton fighting through tackles on both of those plays. Running through a couple of arm tackles.
It'll be 3rd down and 4 now for the Bulldogs. Clock at 5:42. Celebration will be ongoing. New Year's Eve in Miami, and a Dogs playoff victory. That's hard to beat.
Indeed it is.
Snap to Bennett, and we'll toss it to Kenny McIntosh on a sweep to the left. He's looking for space, bounces out towards the sideline, and will be knocked out of bounds around where? The 18, maybe the 19-yard line by Hawkins, the safety. And they said that's the 13. Well, I knew this distance was going to get me at some point, and it finally did. We're way down on one end of the field in the corner of the end zone, and it's 4th down now for the Dogs. So it's 4th and 3 on the 13. I was 5 yards up the field. So my apologies for that. And Georgia will put the punt unit out there. Jake Camarda stands on the goal line, takes the snap, and will boom it away. And the ball will bounce on the 50 and kind of checks up after a straight up bounce around the Michigan 49-yard line or so, and that's where the Dogs will down it. Not his best work, but we'll take it. With that defense, it's anytime you can kick it away, it's pretty good work. 38 yards on the punt by Jake Camarda with 4:40 to go, and Michigan will have the football at midfield on the 50. It's been all Dogs tonight, all night long. We had a 27-3 lead. It's only been one score in the second half, and that was on Georgia's long touchdown throw to James Cook by Stetson Bennett to make it 34-3. Michigan from the 50, they'll throw. Oh my goodness! Wow! Chaz Chambliss just blew up Blake Corum right in front of our bench, and the pass is incomplete. Corum's going to have to check out of the ball game. He's trying to shake it off as he runs to the Michigan sideline. Wouldn't you know it, that's 53 yards on the other side of the field. He's got to make that jaunt before he can go down on a knee or anything. But, man, did he get clobbered by Chambliss, who broke up the pass play.
McCarthy was looking at Corum as Corum was limping off the field, tapping his chest like that's his fault. I think Corum knows that was his fault, throwing him into that mess.
They're going to look at this play under review. The announcement from referee Scott Campbell after the hit by Chambliss. So the play is under review, and they're, I guess, are they looking for targeting? Is that what they're looking at? No, we're looking at the replay too. Well, let me give you this first. The play is under review, brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. That looked to be a good, strong hit by Chambliss, the linebacker. He did appear to lead with his helmet, did not make above the shoulders contact. He hit the ball with his helmet more than anything else. But
yeah, hit him right in the chest. He did lower his head, but hit him right in the numbers.
So it might be about 50-50 on this one. He checks the box on some of the targeting rules and not on others. Scott Campbell's taking the headset off. I guess he's got a decision.
The result of the play is an incomplete pass, personal foul, targeting, defense, using the crown of the helmet, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So that's our second targeting ejection. And Chambliss, I think, maybe kind of knew it as we were watching his reaction on the sidelines. Christopher Smith was ejected in the first half and just missed the rest of this game. He'll be available for the national championship game, but Chambliss now, as we get this right, will not be available in the first half of that game, but will be able to play in the second half against Alabama on January 10th. And it's a 15-yard penalty against the Dogs that puts the ball on the Georgia 35 for Michigan. They're still trying to get in the end zone. McCarthy will throw it wide of his target at the Georgia 30. A.J. Henning was the intended receiver. Jamon Dumas-Johnson was in coverage. I mean, he had him covered well, and the pass was a little bit to the receiver's left and incomplete.
Boy, great coverage there by Dumas-Johnson. Undercut that. If that ball's on target, that's a pick six for number 10.
Dogs defensive unit right now, Walthour and Rochester and Logue up front. Dumas-Johnson, Smile Munden, and M.J. Sherman, the linebackers. And we've got 5 in the secondary. We'll check those. Let's see, Speed and Bullard and Daniel and Lassiter and Breeny. Snap to McCarthy. Going to hang one up near sideline. Got a man wide open. He beat Daniel easily, and that's a touchdown for Andrell Anthony, the freshman receiver, running on the Georgia sideline. Had his man beat by about 7 or 8 yards, it looked like, and Michigan finally gets in the end zone.
Yeah, and Anthony in the end zone posing like he just won the football game. Not sure if he realizes it's 34-9, about to be 34-10. And Michigan got away with the hold right there, too. We brought corner fire with Lassiter coming on that blitz, and he got held, and they didn't call it.
David Daniel was the guy left trying to cover Anthony and was unable to successfully do so. Michigan's going to go for 2 here. And they're going to run it into the end zone with Henning. A sweep to the left. And they get the 2 to make it 34-11 with 4:25 to go in the game. So Anthony with the score, A.J. Henning with the 2-point conversion. And Michigan, you can hear their fight song in the background. First chance they've really had to play that thing tonight. So they're going to jazz it up. Again, 4:25 remaining. Most of the Michigan fans have departed, so there weren't many of their fans that made the trip here that actually got to see them get into the end zone, other than their band and maybe some students down there in that far end zone.
Yeah, that's about all it is a sprinkling of Michigan fans still in the upper deck, but the lower bowl outside of the student section is pretty much emptied out.
So the Wolverines get in against what was just about universally Georgia reserves on defense. I don't think we had any starters still in the ballgame. We did not. Other than, I guess you could argue, Brini, because he started all the games until we got to the SEC championship game, then did play against Alabama, and is playing here late in this ballgame. So Michigan will tee it up on the 35. Dogs expecting an onside kick here with 4:25 to go. And the Wolverines down 23 points. And this will be Moody as he approaches and pooches it over the front line of Georgia defenders, and the Dogs will play it on a bounce and return it between the hash marks up to about the 35-yard line. And it was Kearis Jackson handling the football for the Dogs. Some sure hands back there, and the Dogs will have it at the 34 is where they'll spot it down with 4:20 to go.
Good job there by Kearis Jackson, being in the right position, fielding that football on one bounce, and then making his way upfield and just getting on the ground.
And we are told the MVPs of the Orange Bowl have already been selected. Stetson Bennett as the offensive player, Darian Kendrick as the defensive player. So congratulations to those two guys. Both played very, very well tonight for Georgia. Bennett under center. He'll hand it off to Daijun Edwards. Big hole Daijun. Daijun at midfield. They're trying to tackle him from behind. He was trying to stiff arm, and Edwards just went right up the gut all the way down to the Michigan 35-yard line for a big Scana Energy first down here late in the ball game. DJ Turner had to drag him down.
Boy, huge hole opened up there. Warren McClendon, a massive block, and Daijun Edwards close to being off to the races.
How far was that run, Hondo? 31 yards for Edwards. 34-11 is our score. Dogs trying to seal it shut. 3:46 remaining if we want to jam it in the end zone one more time. On the Michigan 35, break the huddle. Our starting offensive line is still in the ballgame, as is the starting quarterback and many others. And hand off to Edwards, looking for space. Daijun straight ahead between the tackles once again. Last time he had a big hole. This time not so much. And Michigan will make the stop at the Wolverine 33-yard line, and somebody called a timeout.
Yeah, Michigan just called a timeout.
Well, can't use them where they're going after this one, so you might as well take them, I guess. 3:26 remaining.
This is the one game that you don't mind them using them.
They don't count in spring practice. And
no, they don't.
That's the next time Michigan will take a snap. 3:26 remains. Michigan calls a time with Georgia looking at 2nd down and 8 on the Wolverine 33. Our fourth quarter recap presented by Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit, loans for land and farms. Let's take a look at the completed numbers here. Well, not quite completed, but as it stands with 3:26 to go. Stetson Bennett, as we said, offensive MVP of the Orange Bowl. Not bad for all the talk that swirled around prior to this game, whether or not he should be playing. 21 of 31, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dogs 7 yards away from going over 500 in the ball game. Michigan at 325 for the game. Second 8 Dogs on the Michigan 33. Stretch handoff to Kendall Milton. Tried to bounce out left outside. They grab his leg and pull him to the turf at the 31-yard line. And that was Nikai Hill-Green. And Michigan calls another timeout. And the Georgia fans boo. They're ready for the party to begin with 3:21 to go. And it's 3rd down and 6 at the 31. So the gain was a couple for Milton. And the Dogs will get another breather, as will Michigan, as they huddle up around their coaches on the edge of the field.
You're right. Milton was one leg tackle away from taking that one to the house. Had some running room outside to his left, and he was trying to get out there. Somebody grabbed a hold of his foot and able to bring him down.
Georgia's line play tonight, very, very good. Michigan came in with 2 of the best sack guys in the game in Ojabo and Hutchinson. And, well, they don't have any sacks tonight. They only had 2 tackles for loss. Georgia has 4 sacks and 7 TFLs in the ball game. Did Ojabo even play tonight? I don't even recall seeing him. I certainly didn't call his name. Here we go on a reverse to Ladd McConkey, sweeping around to the near side. Hit at the 24. As he hits the ground, the ball comes squirting out, but he was down. Gray, the cornerback, made the stop.
Well, a lot of motion in the backfield there for Georgia. That served almost like a reverse, as you had all the motion going to the opposite side of the field, and nice diving effort by Ladd McConkey to get the first down.
At the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. 20. It is at the 24, right? What was the game? 7. Thank you. I think I've already checked into the party. Bennett turns around, hands it off to Kendall Milton. He'll try to run to the left outside at tackle. Kind of ran into Darnell Washington, who was trying to block. Chris Jenkins, the defensive end for Michigan, will make the tackle there on the edge at the 21 or so. Ball's on one of the corporate logos on the field. And it's 2nd down to 7. The gain was 3. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldog Sports Network. Dogs break the huddle up to the line on the Michigan 21. In the shotgun, Bennett going to take the snap, toss it to Edwards to his left, stay in bounds, Dejan. He goes all the way there. They don't get him on the turf. I thought he was going down behind the line at the 25. He keeps his feet and drives forward back to the 20 or so. Broke away from Brad Hawkins, the free safety, and broke a tackle from Hill-Green as well. And then Jenkins finally had to stop him for the Michigan defense. And after all of that, Dejan got a yard to the 19. It's 3rd down and 5. Clock less than 90 seconds now.
Smart play there by Dejan, not going out of bounds at first, and then just the physical nature of the way he runs, breaking through tackles and fighting for every inch, even at this stage in the game.
Dogs are in the Massey Ferguson red zone here in the final seconds. 3rd down and 5 from the Michigan 19-yard line. There's the snap to Bennett and a handoff to Edwards. Fighting for yards with the tight ends blocking on the left edge. And they don't, well, they finally get Dejan to the turf after the whistles were blown and the bodies fall down, but they had him stood up around the 18-yard line or so. Clock continues to tick. 4th down and 2.
The Dogs will keep the offense on the field, run one more play.
Milton back in, snap the ball, take the Orange Bowl trophy, go get ready for Alabama in the national championship game. Ball's on the 16-yard line. 4th and 2. 22 seconds to go. 20 seconds. Dogs still kind of in that muddle huddle, and now they're going to call time. And the offense is going to walk over to the Georgia sideline. Call the time as the play clock was winding down. 14 seconds remain in the game. Just take a crack at it here. 4th and 2. If you get the 2 yards, and that's the ball game after you get the 2 yards.
That's exactly right. Offense is huddled out right now on the national championship and playoff emblem.
Dogs will be getting the trophy on that field here in a few moments. They'll put the temporary stage out there. Xavier Truss is in the ball game as an offensive lineman now. And Van Pran is still in at center. And Devin Willock is in there at one of the guard spots as well. Bennett in at quarterback, Milton in the backfield. 4th and 2 for the Dogs on the 16 of Michigan. Game well in hand, handed off to Milton. He cuts across at center, gets the first down to the 11-yard line. He got 5, and that's the ball game. The final 10 seconds will run off the clock. Georgia's players congratulate one another, and the Dogs have won the Orange Bowl and won the playoff semifinal and will head to the national championship game for the second time. And look at the rematch. It's the same one it was the first time. Georgia and Alabama will meet in Indianapolis, Indiana on January 10th for college football's big prize. 34-11, our final score. Georgia over Michigan tonight here in Miami in the Orange Bowl. The MVPs of the game, both on Georgia's side. Stetson Bennett on offense, Darion Kendrick on defense. Both guys had tremendous ball games. Kendrick with 2 interceptions in the game, 1 in the end zone for Georgia. And Stetson Bennett had a terrific outing, 21 of 31 passing the football, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of right at 183. Pretty impressive stuff for Stetson Bennett from Blackshear, Georgia. Here comes the stage. The trophy presentation is on the way. We'll step aside and have it for you after this. Dogs win the Orange Bowl and advance to the national championship, 34-11 over Michigan on the Bulldog Sports Network.